Hey tribe, in this video, we're going to talk about how did Neville Goddard really manifest? Because I really want to talk about this, but we're going to cover a couple things. One, I'm going to keep this as simple as I possibly can to get you results. And the second thing is where you guys get confused, especially with Neville Goddard, is that you treat everything as a separate entity, okay? How Neville Goddard really taught, everything was congruent, everything was interlinked, everything tied together, almost like a giant manifesting technique, okay? But what you guys are doing, okay, not to be in your face a little bit, but you guys are separating everything. You guys are saying, well, there's living the end. Okay, you got to live in your wish fulfilled. There's the revision technique. You have to enter sats. And you treat all these things as separate entities when Neville Goddard was really meaning or really teaching you how to manifest at one time. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to break this down into several steps here. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling. Okay, step one, okay, you got to set an intention. You got to know what you want. Okay, you got to set an intention. You got to set a desire, no matter if it is you want to be a millionaire, you want your dream house, dream car, dream job. Doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it's a dream vacation. Okay, you got to set that intention and know what you want. Okay, that's pretty simple. That's step one. Now, step two here, ironically, is where it starts to get confusing. Because with Neville Goddard is once you set an intention, now you got to go inside your imagination and live as if you already have what you want. So how did Neville Goddard do this? Okay, because nobody is teaching how Neville Goddard actually entered his imagination. So let's talk about this for a second. So when Neville Goddard entered his imagination, okay, he didn't just lay down in his bed and go right into it. Okay, he didn't just like sit on the couch ready to take a nap and he just goes right into sats. Okay, now sats is the state akin to sleep. All sats is that in between state is you're not full asleep yet, but you're really just super sleepy. It's really that time 5 minutes before you drift off to sleep. That's what really sats is. Okay, my friends. But how Neville Goddard actually enters sats or enter that sleepy state is, listen, he got relaxed first. He put himself in that sleepy state first before he went into his imagination, before he started thinking about what he wanted inside his imagination. You understand? So what Neville Goddard would actually do is, even if he's doing kind of a mid-time nap or at bedtime, he actually lay down and was relaxed, got relaxed first. He put himself in that sleepy state first. We do this naturally, guys. Don't make this stuff too difficult. You're just really laying down and you're getting super relaxed, and you're so relaxed to a point where you're only going to be awake for maybe 5 minutes. That's when you go inside your imagination, my friends. That's what Neville Goddard was teaching. He didn't teach stats that you got to sit there for 30 minutes like some people were teaching, okay? He wasn't doing that. I can't find that anywhere in his material, okay? You got to go to bed 30 minutes before you go to sleep. No, he didn't do that. He got relaxed first. He put himself in a sleepy state. 5 minutes before he went to sleep, he entered his imagination, okay? That's how he could go to sleep in that state because he was doing it right before sleep. So now let's talk about your imagination, because what Neville Goddard taught was you're inside your imagination. You're living in your imagination as if you already have what you want. It's not about how you got it, okay? You're living as if you already have it. And inside your imagination, what you're doing is that I'm walking around these giant puddles so I don't fall in it, is you're bringing your 5 senses alive in your imagination. Okay, see, hear, smell, taste, touch. That's why Neville Goddard always taught, like, have a best friend in your imagination. Have someone you're talking to and conversing with in your imagination. Actually touch things and smell things. Like if you're by the ocean, for example, you can smell kind of the salt water in the air. You can smell that sometimes that ocean smell in the air. You know you're around an ocean just because you can smell it. Just like if you're walking in sand, you can feel the sand on your feet. You understand? So you're bringing in your 5 senses, so you're really experiencing it inside your imagination. Like, for example, I was doing this last night, and in my imagination, I was in this penthouse, and this penthouse had just the most beautiful view, the most fantastic view I've ever seen in my life of the ocean. It was really, really high up. It was like a panoramic, like a 360 view of the ocean inside this penthouse. And I actually seen pictures of it, or actually seen a video of it. So I went inside my imagination, and it was really like I was really there. Like I had like tingles all over my body, like when I was doing this, you know. That's how you really do it. You're really living in your imagination. So that's what you got to practice. You're really experiencing it and doing it inside your imagination, my friends. Now let's move on here, because you set an intention, you know how to go inside your imagination, you get relaxed first, and you enter your imagination, you're bringing in all your 5 senses, and you know that you do it 5 minutes before you go to sleep, and you try your best to drift off to sleep in that state. Okay, now this takes you to part of Neville Goddard that he called living the end. Now, living the end is you actually do in your 3D world. Your 3D world is my world I'm experiencing right now. Okay, this is another very, very confusing part of Neville Goddard with people living the end. Okay, listen to this, guys. When you wake up in the morning, you're living in the end. So you're, listen, I'm gonna explain this simple, so don't get this messed up, is when you live in the end, you're acting as if you already have what you want. Okay, let me get more simple than that. You're living life. Ooh, okay. Now, you're getting up, you're living life, okay? You're doing things you normally would do. You're going to the gym, you're hanging out with your friends, you're going to work, your job, you're busy, you're important, you're living life. You're not just sitting there waiting for your dream house to happen, okay? You're not just sitting there waiting to be a millionaire. You're getting up and you're living life, okay? Listen, this is the most important thing here. I'm going to explain a couple of things here. One, when you just live life, you naturally detach from it. You naturally detach, you forget about it. When you hang out with friends, you forget about your intention. You forget about what you want. And when you forget about it, you're unattached from it. You don't need it, okay? So that's why I say you have to live life. You have to get out and live life, okay? Now with part 2, with living the end, is probably the most important. It's up there just like you're living life, is you don't want to contradict your state. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Is when you're living the end, you're behaving and acting like the most successful version of you. So you're living life, you're living as if you already have what you want. You're living as if like you're the most successful version of you, and you don't contradict that state. So what do I mean by that? Is what I mean, I'm talking to riddles here, is that if you want your dream house, for example, you don't wake up in the morning and look for the how. You don't get up in the morning and look out your window and think, oh, my dream house didn't come today. Okay, I'm still living in the same exact house. Okay, you look out your window, my dream car isn't out in the parking lot today. You see, you're contradicting that state. If you want your dream house, for example, you don't wake up and start looking for real estate people. Okay, listen, if you already own your dream house right now, would you be doing those things? Would you be looking for a real estate person? Would you be trying to figure out what your mortgage is? Would you be trying to figure out like, well, how did I come up with a down payment? Okay, how am I affording this house? No, you wouldn't be doing none of those things because you already have what you want. Okay, so that's really important. When you live life, you don't do anything that contradicts you having what you want. Okay, so that's kind of Neville Goddard's kind of really power of awareness. Okay, this is where power awareness comes in, because now you got to be aware. When you live life, you got to be aware of what you're doing throughout the day. You got to be aware of your thoughts. Are your thoughts going in the gutter? Are your thoughts really looking for the how? You understand? And when you catch yourself, all you do is catch yourself and you shift right back to living life. You understand? You shift right back to being that most successful version of you. Does that make sense? So this is where, again, I'm kind of repeating myself. I'm sorry, but But I'm kind of tying everything together. When Neville Goddard talks about the power of awareness, this is where it comes in. Power awareness comes in your 3D world. You got to be aware of your thoughts, what you murmur and complain about, okay, how you spend your time. Maybe you're not living life. Maybe you're trying to attract your SP. And I love SP stuff because what most people do with their SP is they sit in there and wait. They wait for their SP. They wait for their SP to contact them, okay? What is waiting? All waiting does is communicate you don't have it. It communicates you need it. It communicates scarcity. That's why you gotta live life, my friends. Try and attract your SP, live life. Okay, have standards, boundaries, and non-negotiables. You still hang out with your best friends. You still putting a dent in the universe. You still have a job. You still have professional aspirations and personal aspirations. Okay, you still have your own hobbies. You go do them. You live life. Okay. Now, the last one here is Neville Goddard's revision technique. And again, a lot of people don't talk about Neville Goddard's revision technique as I'm coming back to the motorbike here. Okay. So I'm going to explain to you what the revision technique and how to use it and where to use it. You see, what happens is when you have your bedtime routine and you go inside your imagination, you're living inside your imagination, you're drifting off to sleep, okay? You're living in your wish fulfilled in your imagination. Then when you get up during the day, you're living in the end. You're doing your best, okay, to live as that most successful version of you. You're doing your best you already have what you want, okay? But sometimes, every day isn't going to be perfect, my friends, okay? We're human. You're going to wake up, your mind's going to go in the gutter. You understand? You're going to wake up and you're going to get in arguments at work, okay? You're going to wake up and you're going to have days where you're just depressed. You're going to wake up and say, you know what? This stuff doesn't flip and work, okay? You're going to wake up, you're going to go to a restaurant and you're going to tell yourself like, when I go to this restaurant, I'm going to get VIP service. And all they do when you go is get your order wrong, cook your food wrong. It tasted awful. You understand? You're going to have days like this, okay? And this is where Neville Goddard's revision technique comes in. Okay, all it means, his revision technique, it's probably, Neville Goddard called this like his revision technique. He always thought it was, this is the thing everybody's going to remember him for, is you revise your day. And what that means is you revise your day to the perfect day, how it should have went. You understand? That's the power of the revision technique. So this is how you use it. And I'm sorry, the sun's all over. I'm trying to get in the shade, but now how you use the revision technique, you can use it two different ways. Okay. You can do it on the spot. You understand? Maybe I'm driving in a car, someone cuts me off, my mind starts getting in the gutter, going in the gutter, I start cussing in the car, I catch myself. And I go right in my imagination that person didn't cut me off, okay? Or I go right in my imagination and I revise that person cut me off, but I handled it calm and collectively. I didn't let it trigger me. That's the revision technique. I replay the event like I really wanted it to go, okay? Now, the most powerful way to do the revision technique is during bedtime, okay? I'm sorry, it's kind of, there it is. Now, the most powerful time to do the revision technique is at bedtime, okay? This is where people flub up. It's because when they go to bed every night, they keep on mental rehearsing what they want. They keep on mental rehearsing their dream car, their dream house, money over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, you don't keep on mentally rehearsing the same thing. Okay, after a few nights, okay, you probably already influence your subconscious mind. Okay, now what you do is the revision technique at nighttime. So when you go to bed at nighttime, you go inside your imagination and you think back at your day, okay? You don't judge your day, you don't judge anything. You just think back and you play your day out, how it went, Okay, so you can remember. And then you go back to the beginning and you revise your day. Okay, you go back and play your day out how you wanted it to go, how you wanted it to be as the most successful version of you. Okay, that's the power of the revision technique. So basically, like in my opinion, the revision technique is really made to keep you, listen, to keep you in that most successful version of you, to keep you in that state, because we're constantly going to move in and out of states. But what Neville Goddard taught was the power of the revision technique. Okay, this is the power it really has, is that your subconscious mind remembers how something is played out in your life. And when you revise it, that's what your subconscious mind remembers. Your subconscious mind doesn't remember the bad happening to you. When you revise it to good, that's what your subconscious mind remembers. And if you do this every night, now Neville Goddard actually even said, you should do the revision technique every single night, every single day. Okay, you should revise your day every single day. Okay, and he said, if you did this every single day, this would change your flipping life. But you see, that's how I use the revision technique, is once, let's say I want to be a millionaire, or we want to move to Jomtien, buy a house. Okay, I go inside my imagination for a few nights in a row of the house, living there, doing all that stuff. And then from there, when I lay down at nighttime, I start revising my day. Because I didn't behave perfectly throughout the day, so I revise it to that most successful version of me. That's what you should be doing, my friends. So let's sum this up really fast here, okay, my friends? Is one, you're going to set your intention. You're going to know exactly what you want. Two, that goes into SATs, okay? And when you enter SATs, you get yourself in a sleepy state. You get yourself in a very, very relaxed state. Okay, that's how Neville Goddard did it. Neville Goddard didn't just enter SATs right away. Okay, now SATs can be during a nap, during a meditation, but the most popular is during bedtime. It's 5 minutes before you go to bed. Okay. Now, when you enter SATs, you're going inside your imagination. Okay, you're living as if inside your imagination, you're living as if you already have what you want, and you're bringing in your five senses. Okay, your five senses, meaning that you're having conversations, you're talking to people inside your imagination, you're smelling things, you're smelling the fresh air, you're touching things, okay, inside your imagination. You're making it as real as you possibly can. You're really experiencing it inside your imagination. Okay, that leads into living the end. What do you do in your 3D world? Okay, what do you do in your 3D world? Is you live life. Okay, to keep it as simple as that. You live life, you already have what you want, you're behaving like that most successful version of you, you're living life. Okay, this leads into the revision technique. Because we're human, okay? We're not gonna handle every situation perfectly. Our mind's gonna go in a gutter. We're gonna wake up, our mind's in a gutter. We're gonna perceive things are not going our way. We're gonna behave like that old identity. Okay, we're not always gonna behave like the most successful version of us. And that's when we do the revision technique. Now, you can revise on the spot, or the most powerful is you revise at nighttime. Just like you do SATs, just like you go inside your imagination. You start revising your day, how you wanted your day to actually go as the most successful version of you, my friends. Okay, tribe? Hopefully that was easy. Okay, it sounds easy in my head, but then when I start doing the video, I'm like, did that sound complicated? But the thing is, what I want you to get out of this is that when Neville Goddard taught, everything's interconnected, my friends. Everything is interconnected. We should be doing, all of these things are interweaved together, okay? This is why when Neville Goddard taught the ladder technique, and I'll try to post a ladder technique below because I don't want to go into it. But Neville Goddard said, if the ladder technique worked for you, you could have just as easily manifested $1 million. Why would he say this? During a ladder technique, isn't the ladder technique different from another manifesting technique? No, it's not different, okay? The ladder represents anything you want in life. You understand? The reason why he used a ladder is because people are not attached to a ladder. I mean, you understand? So that's why he said, you can use the ladder technique and manifest your dream house. Manifest $1 million bucks. Manifest anything you want. Because it's the same. It's on the same plane, my friends. Okay? But other than that, just wanted to share that with you. If you have questions about this, comment below. I'll try to help you out as much as possible. But if you need to reach out to me or anything like that, check out the description. That's where all the nuggets are. I always keep it updated. So check out the description below. Other than that, remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.